We don't serve people like that here. Those words cut through the air like a knife. Marcus Williams froze, holding a worn-out wallet in his hand, as the blonde waitress behind the counter whispered the sentence to her coworker, loud enough for him to hear. It was supposed to be a normal visit. He wasn't wearing his usual designer suit today, just an old pair of jeans and a plain gray t-shirt. To everyone else, he looked like any ordinary man wandering into a fancy downtown cafe. But Marcus wasn't ordinary. He was the owner, the man who built this coffee chain from scratch, the man who signed every paycheck in this place. And yet, right there, in his own cafe, he was being judged by the color of his skin. Rachel, the waitress, didn't even glance at him again. She busied herself arranging cups, pretending he didn't exist, while smiling at a white couple who had just walked in. Her tone changed instantly, warm, polite, welcoming. Marcus stood in silence for a moment. His jaw tightened. He'd received a few anonymous complaints lately, rumors of racial discrimination at this particular branch. So he came unannounced, disguised as a customer, just to see for himself. He didn't expect confirmation to hit this hard. "Excuse me," he said, finally stepping closer. Rachel sighed, rolling her eyes. "What do you want?" Her tone had that sharp, dismissive edge, the kind that said, "You don't belong here." Marcus took a breath. "Just an Americano, please." Rachel didn't even look at him. "We're having problems with the system today. Cash only." Marcus knew she was lying. The payment system was new, one of his own upgrades. And besides, she was processing card payments just fine for everyone else. He smiled calmly. "That's fine. How much is it?" $12, she said flatly. Marcus blinked. 12? The Americano was listed at $4.50. He'd approved that price himself. But he said nothing. He handed her at 20. Rachel took the bill between two fingers, as if it were contaminated. "Plain coffee, no frills," she muttered to the barista. "To go." The barista, Tony, hesitated. His eyes flickered with discomfort, but he said nothing. Marcus could see the tension in his shoulders. He wanted to do the right thing, but didn't dare. As Marcus waited, Rachel served 3 other customers who had arrived after him. She offered them porcelain cups, napkins, and that signature downtown brew experience. When his order finally came, it was in a cheap, disposable cup. No saucer, no napkin, no respect. She placed it on the counter without a word. "Next!" Marcus stared at the cup for a moment, then at the people around him. This was his business, his name, his standards, and yet here he stood, invisible. He walked out silently, but inside, something was burning. The son of a cleaning lady and a mechanic, Marcus had built everything from nothing. He'd started selling coffee out of a small cart on a college campus. His dream was simple: create a place where everyone felt respected, where every customer was treated like family. He thought he had succeeded, until today. As he stepped outside, he pulled out his phone. "James," he said, his voice steady, "it's me. Bring the legal team. Downtown Brew. We've got a situation." 40 minutes later, his friend and attorney, James Peterson, arrived. Tall, confident, and white, exactly the kind of man Rachel would probably treat with respect. "What's going on?" James asked, scanning the cafe. "Just watch," Marcus said quietly. Rachel was at it again. This time she was serving a Latino family, rolling her eyes, sighing loudly as they asked questions about the menu. When the couple's little boy accidentally spilled sugar on the table, Rachel made sure the entire cafe heard her sneer. "Some people don't know how to behave in civilized places." The father's face flushed red. The mother looked down, ashamed. They apologized and left, their dignity crushed. James shook his head. "Jesus, she's doing it openly?" Marcus nodded slowly. "And this is happening in my own cafe." He remembered his mother, Donna Williams, coming home after long nights cleaning offices, her hands raw from chemicals. She used to tell him, "Respect has no color, baby. Don't ever forget that." Marcus had built his entire empire on that principle. But seeing Rachel mock that very belief in his own cafe, that hit deep. "Fire her," James said. "You've got enough right now." "No," Marcus replied. "Firing her would be too easy. She'll just go somewhere else and keep doing it. I want her to learn." James studied his face. That look meant Marcus had a plan. "Get me everything," Marcus said. "I want a full investigation. Who she talks to, how she acts when no one's watching, everything." 3 days later, David Martinez, a private investigator, laid down a thick folder. "Rachel Thompson," David said. "This woman practically documented her own prejudice online." Marcus flipped through screenshots, Rachel posing in her downtown brew uniform, hashtags like "special customers only" and "work life." Posts mocking non-white clients for not fitting in. Then there were chat logs from a private WhatsApp group called Elite Service Squad. Rachel and several others from different luxury establishments exchanged tips on how to discourage undesirable clientele, delaying service, overcharging, lying about broken systems. Marcus clenched his jaw. "And she works for me?" "It's not just her," David added. "Her supervisor, Jennifer Walsh, is part of it." Marcus's chest tightened. Jennifer had been one of his most trusted hires. "So this is a whole system?" "Exactly," David said. "They even created codes in the POS system to charge higher prices for specific customers." Marcus sat back, silent for a moment. "All right," he said finally. "We're going back. This time, everything gets recorded." The next afternoon, Marcus walked back into downtown Brew. Same jeans, same plain shirt, but this time a hidden camera in his button and a microphone under his collar. Rachel noticed him instantly. "Look who's back," she whispered to Jennifer. "Guess that $12 coffee wasn't enough to scare him away." Marcus smiled politely. "Good afternoon. I'd like an Americano, please." "Sure," Rachel said, smirking. "Today's special, $15. He tilted his head. "That's interesting. Yesterday it was 12. Jennifer chuckled. "Inflation, you know. Things are expensive these days." Every word was being recorded in crystal clear quality. Rachel tapped a secret code into the register, the same discriminatory code David had found in her data logs. Then she poured the coffee into a cheap cup, again. "I'll drink it here," Marcus said. Rachel frowned. "Our tables are reserved for full order customers." He glanced at the empty seats around him. "I see, but that couple over there only ordered coffee." "Oh, they're regulars," Jennifer cut in quickly. "We make exceptions." Marcus smiled faintly. "Of course you do." He took his cup, looked Rachel straight in the eye, and said, "Thank you for the experience." Then he walked out, calm, composed, and holding their downfall on video. Outside, David and James were waiting in a van. "We got it all," David said, checking the footage. "Clear audio, clear visuals, timestamps. It's airtight." Marcus exhaled slowly. "Good. Now let's make sure they'll never forget this." The next morning, a message went out. "Mandatory staff meeting, 9 a.m. sharp." Rachel showed up confident, even joking with Jennifer. "Maybe we're finally getting promoted," she laughed. 15 minutes later, the laughter died. Marcus walked in, wearing a sharp navy suit, followed by James, David, and a woman in glasses, Dr. Patricia Williams, a labor rights attorney. The room went silent. "Good morning," Marcus began. "My name is Marcus Williams. I'm the owner of Downtown Brew." Rachel's face drained of color. Jennifer froze. "I came here last week undercover, after hearing reports of discrimination at this particular location. What I discovered was worse than I imagined. He clicked a button on a projector. The first slide appeared. Screenshots from Rachel's WhatsApp group. Her messages mocking customers flashed across the wall. Rachel's voice trembled. "Sir, this is a mistake." "Silence," Marcus said firmly. He clicked again. An image of Rachel posing in her Downtown Brew uniform, time-stamped exactly when she had overcharged him. "That was me, Rachel," Marcus said quietly. "The man you charged $15 for a $4.50 coffee. The man you said didn't belong here." The room stayed still. He turned to Jennifer. "You trained others to use secret codes to inflate prices. You watched discrimination happen daily and did nothing." Jennifer's eyes filled with tears. "Please, No explanations," Marcus interrupted. "Just consequences." He nodded to David, who handed each of them a sealed envelope. "Rachel Thompson, Jennifer Walsh, you're both terminated, effective immediately. For cause. All evidence has been documented and will be submitted to our legal department." Rachel tried one last bluff. "You can't do this. You lied about who you were." Dr. Williams stepped forward. "Under federal law, a business owner can conduct undercover investigations into employee misconduct. And all this," she gestured toward the projector, "is admissible in court." Rachel's hands shook. Jennifer sobbed silently. Marcus pressed play on one final clip. Rachel's own voice echoed through the cafe speakers. "Some people just don't fit in with the premium experience we offer." He looked at her calmly. "That was you, yesterday, talking about me." Silence. "Pack your things," Marcus said. 10 minutes. The two women walked out, their confidence gone, faces pale, eyes down. When the door closed, Marcus turned to the remaining staff. "Let today be clear," he said. "Discrimination has no place here. If you stood by your values, you'll be rewarded. If you ever looked the other way, this is your chance to change." Tony stepped forward. "Sir, I wanted to speak up before, but I didn't know how." Marcus smiled faintly. "Now you do. Starting today, there's a new anonymous system for reporting misconduct. No one should ever feel scared to do the right thing." 6 months later, Downtown Brew became a national symbol of change. Rachel couldn't find another job. Her social media posts resurfaced, destroying her reputation. Jennifer moved to another state after several customers filed lawsuits. Meanwhile, Marcus's cafe chain thrived. Profits soared 340%. Magazines called him CEO of the Year. Tony became the new manager, leading with kindness and fairness. A new plaque hung on the cafe wall. "To my mother, Donna Williams, who taught me that dignity is not negotiable." Marcus often visited the shop, quietly sipping coffee among customers of all colors, backgrounds, and stories. He didn't need to hide anymore. He'd proven something bigger than revenge, that success built on equality is the strongest justice of all. And as he looked around the bustling cafe, he whispered to himself, "The best revenge against prejudice is success they said we'd never have." If you've ever faced discrimination or been underestimated because of who you are, remember Marcus's story. Sometimes the most powerful way to fight back isn't with anger, but by building something so great they can't ignore you. Subscribe for more stories like this, where truth wins and justice is served, one cup at a time.